Hi, everyone. It's Marie. I've got my air conditioning on. I'm going to turn it off so you can hear me better. Hi. Welcome. Today, I picked the perfect topic because I'm in more businessy clothes today because I just got back from doing a training with a bunch of women. And the subject today is work-life balance is impossible, or not possible, or mission impossible, however you want to say it. And the thing is I thought of this subject yesterday, and here I am today. Hi, Debbie. Here I am today doing a training with a bunch of women, and one of them literally said this exact thing to me. She literally said she wanted to challenge me, and she felt strongly about it, and God bless her, she did. Um, and was like, work-life balance is impossible, and you're hurting women by saying that it is possible. And because there's just too many demands in our life, and there's no such thing as balance. And, I kind of agree with her in one sense, because I don't know how else to describe out there in the world of online what I'm trying to do for all of you guys, except put it in a box people know: work-life balance. But when you say that, it almost does sound impossible. And many times in all of my clients' lives and my own, they believed, and I believed, it was impossible because we were so burdened by our current circumstances. So what I said to her is, well, what does that mean to you? And it was all about equity. It was all about balance. Means that, you can turn off work. Balance means that you can always do what you want to do in your private life. Balance means that you are 50-50 in the sense of you have, you're not working on the weekends and nights, and that you come home and you can turn it off. And here's the thing. And then this other woman starts talking, and she's like, that's not balance at all. And we had this really interesting conversation because I love words. Obviously, I'm a communication specialist, strategic communicator, whatever you want to call it. And words have such power and such meaning, but they also mean so many different things to people when you use words like balance or justice or equity, or any word that has an emotional attachment is loaded. And everyone has a perspective of what that means. And balance, to me, just to be damn clear about it, when I say work-life balance, what I mean is you are at the center of your life, making choices based on your values and in control of your life. Hi, Stephanie. You're in control of your life. Your life isn't controlling you. Your responsibilities are not controlling you. Your need to please or perform is not controlling you. You are controlling your decisions, your calendar, and your life. That, to me, is balance. And whatever form that takes, in hours you work or how you work, that's up to you, because everybody is different. Every single person's meaning of balance is different. Every single person's aspirational desire for balance is different. For me and the program that I teach and the women that I coach, balance means you taking control of your life and your choices, and you being at the center of your life. For me and a lot of my clients, work-life balance, or work and life, has been a tension point. Almost like if you think of a tug of war, work is here pulling, and it's always the stronger man on that side, or woman. And life is over here pulling in the other direction. And we're just trying to get that center going. But work always pulls us further. That is a war between work and life. And maybe the better term, I've been thinking about this a lot, because a lot of people have been challenging me about, maybe putting out too lofty of a goal of work-life balance. And so it's really important for me that you guys understand this. You're right. Work-life balance, when you think about it as 50-50, is impossible. Absolutely. That's why I named this Facebook Live that. But work-life integration, harmony, is totally possible. And So you put whatever name or frame around it, but what I mean by that is you're no longer surviving your life or your circumstances. You're actually living an intention, making decisions about what you want to do and why you're doing things, and not behaving in this pleasing perfection mode and constantly doing things you don't want to do or feel burdened by in your life. The thing that truly is happening with work-life balance, sure, our calendar equals our life. If our calendar is a mess, our life is a mess. And there are times, even when you know, go through this course or get more balance and perspective in your life, that you're still going to have crazy busy weeks. But the crazy part is not emotional crazy. The crazy part is just a busy week. And you don't need to name it crazy busy anymore, because crazy busy is the swirl that we're not in control of. I have a busy October coming up. I do. I have a lot of both personal and professional things going on, and very little free time to have to do things. I know that that's happening. I said yes to everything knowing that was happening because it was important and fit within my values. Does it mean October is going to be tougher for me? Sure. Do I need a different strategy for how to get through October and still maintain my emotional state and my happiness and giving my daughter time and my boyfriend time and my family time? Absolutely. And get enough sleep. I need to be probably more locked down in strategy, ask for more help in October. That is being in control of your life versus, oh my God, October is so busy. I just have to not do anything until I survive that. The word survive, the word survival mode, I tended to use motor skills when I was very busy and couldn't seem to stop. It's this constant treadmill, this constant hamster wheel of swirl that we go through in our lives. And it's one level of it is the sheer volume of responsibility and everybody pulling at you. And the other is up here beating yourself up and retreading and not feeling like you ever did enough and beating yourself up because you can't do the things you really want to do. And that swirl in your head, that is the part we need to attack first. We have to stop beating ourselves up, retreading conversations, requiring more from ourselves than everybody else does, and behave in a place of peace and calm to make decisions. Because I don't know about you, and we've talked about this a while, but when you are in that crazy busy swirl, you're not your best self. You're probably a little short with people. You're probably a little stressed. You're not present. You certainly have a harder time being creative when you're in this mode of beating yourself up or feeling overwhelmed. And so when you solve and address the work-life integration, work-life harmony, work-life balance, you're able to show up for work at a higher state, a higher being, literally being your best self. You know, when I took a course, one of the coaches said, making decisions from a calm lake. And I just love that concept because there's so much turbulence when we're dealing in crazy busy. There's so much coming at us and we're really good at what we do, or we wouldn't be as successful as we are, that we constantly are having to find through that, wade through all of that turbulence to make decisions and be clear-eyed. But when we solve the swirl in our head and we start to take control over our life and not do the things we shouldn't be doing, over caretaking, over explaining, over delivering, perfectionism, pleasing, all of these things that create crazy busy on a different level. When we stop doing that, we can be present in every aspect of our life from a calm lake. And it is amazing what comes up. First of all, joy can show up. Playfulness can show up. Collaboration can show up. Being present is so much easier because you're in a calm lake and they're not distractions and bombs going off everywhere. And we're in a place where we're peaceful with our decisions because we have a guide for ourselves and not this impossible task of meeting others' expectations that are only in our head. So today was really just to talk about why fight the word balance, because I found that the two women that were arguing most about it in my training today, and it actually brought up a wonderful conversation. But I have to say that when I tell people that I'm transitioning my career from executive coaching and strategic communications and crisis communications to be working with women on creating their best life and having work-life balance, oh my God, the reactions that I get from people are so visceral. And these are some women I've known my whole life, and they're like, Marie, that's not possible. And we're so quick to say that it's not possible. And I think on truth, we need to say that for ourselves, because then we feel better about our circumstances. That we're just, I know for a fact that every single one of you out there is doing the best you can, and you're doing better than anybody else could possibly do. I mean, you guys are slaying it with all the stuff on your plate, all the balls up in the air, the demanding careers that you have. And so we have to tell ourselves work-life balance is impossible. We have to tell ourselves, wanting that thing, whether it's finding somebody in your life or rekindling the romance in your relationship with your husband or partner, or having more time with your children, or being able to make it to that soccer field or take a class or work out and get healthy. We have to say that it is impossible to have work-life balance, because it makes us feel better about not being able to figure out how to do those things. So how about we say it is possible, and I'm going to go figure it out? How about we say, I am sick and tired of living in overwhelm and exhaustion, and it has to be possible because I see other people seem to do it. I see other people being calmer. I see other people being nicer to themselves. I see other people saying that, they're going out and making time for things that I wish I could make time for, but it's impossible. I mean, careful what we say to ourselves, because what we say becomes true. And, it is possible. It's one of the reasons why I constantly say it is possible, because we are so programmed to believe it's impossible, because it's our safety net. It's our safety. It's almost like this warm, comfortable blanket we put around us to not change and not actually, and even worse, not even hope that it can be different. We've turned that off, because it's easier to live in crazy busy when we believe that work-life balance is impossible. So if you have a problem with the word balance, fine. Use integration, use harmony. In a way, harmony is kind of beautiful, but I think if I said, I help women create work-life harmony, I'd sound like a weirdo. And work-life balance is a term of art, but you get to define what balance is. And right now, I bet everybody in a group called Crazy Busy Women in Balance doesn't think they're in balance, because you wouldn't be here if you did. And so whatever your term of balance is and what that means, start hoping for it instead of saying it's impossible. Start working towards it. Start wanting it. Start feeling the pain of your current life, so you will be promoted and pushed to change, because it is possible. I do it every day with women. I don't care what circumstance you're in. I have CEOs and every walk of life, executives, managers. Hi, Shannon. I have people that I work with and have coached forever that are doing all sorts of crazy, demanding jobs and careers. And they have a lot on their plate, and families counting on them, and people counting on them. And they can do it because they learned the skills. They learned to get out of their own way and live differently. We can stay on the treadmill we're in and believe it's impossible and say, how dare I even try to convince you that it is possible. You can be there like the woman in this training today and say, it's impossible, and how dare you even say it. Part of her is terrified that I'm right. And I kind of said that to her. Sorry, truth hurts sometimes. It's terrifying to believe it's impossible, because then you actually want it to be different. And you've gotten so used to surviving your life and making the best of it. And you're highly skilled in all of that. Because every crazy busy woman I've ever met is highly skilled in rationalizing and making things work, because that's their job in life. They make things work. And they've got a lot of balls in the air, and they're running on the treadmill, and they're doing all multitasking like nobody's business. So they kind of believe that it has to be impossible, because that's the way their system works. So part of what I teach is reprogramming your operating system, because your job is still going to be demanding. You're still going to have deadlines. You're going to still have people pulling at you in multiple directions. If you have kids, you're still going to need to take care of your kids. If you have a partner, you're still going to need to find time for them and want a meaningful and wonderful, intimate relationship. There are lots of other variables here. But the one thing that's true is how you show up. And do you want to be dealing in the chaos and believe nothing's possible because this is just my existence, wherever you are, if you're 35, 45, 55, do you want to just believe that like the world is static? Nothing else in your life is static. So this can be dynamic and changeable too. It's just a matter of wanting it and learning how to do it. And it doesn't mean you have to quit your job. It doesn't mean that you have to take and be a second when you want to be a first. It doesn't mean that you should turn down your desire to have a badass career. Maybe you want one of or all of those things. Everybody gets to define it the way they want, but we've got to stop saying it's impossible because it's become this silent little comfort mantra we've given ourselves, and this belief that it has to be impossible or I would have figured it out, or I'm doing something wrong, and just another vehicle to beat ourselves up. So this woman who is fighting with me at the training and saying, how dare I say that it's possible? I said to her, you're just scared to believe that it is, because if you actually absorb that it is possible to live your life differently and still be a badass executive and an even better person in your work, if you really believe that that is possible, then guess what? You're going to have to change some things. And that's scary. And I get it. But it's better than staying stuck, because I've been stuck and I've been overwhelmed, and my clients have been stuck and overwhelmed. And when I see their shoulders go from this to this and their eyes light up inside instead of feeling absolutely burdened by their life, it is the happiest moment of my life to watch somebody transform. And it comes in different shapes and sizes. Some people get a promotion right after. Some people do change their career. Some people show up and actually change and deepen their collaborative and coworker relationships. Some people go and find somebody because they've made time for online dating. Some people actually are dedicated to creating and reconnecting with their husband or children or whatever it is. Everybody's version is different, but let's start hoping for it. Let's start feeling it. Let's start believing it's possible. And let's go seek the help to make it possible. Because obviously, left to your own devices, you're going to just continue to say all the reasons why it's not possible. And I'm here to tell you, I've seen it in 15 different shapes and forms. It is possible. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what your circumstances are. You can live differently, and you can make decisions from a calm lake. You can show up and be present. And guess what? Joy shows up. Fun shows up. Humor shows up. Lightness shows up. Breathing and breath shows up. Quiet shows up. All these things that crazy busy women don't get to experience every day or ever, all shows up. And we're better. Not only are we our best version showing up every day, but we're better for everybody in our life too. And yes, it is selfish. It's a great, healthy selfishness to want your life to be different and actually think that it can. So I am talking for a long time, so I'm going to get off. I know a lot of people can't join these things live. We haven't found a time where everybody can join them live, but watch this. And if you can do one thing for me today, just stop saying it's impossible or I'm the person that can't, because I guarantee you can. And if you're interested in finding out how to reprogram yourself in just short 8 weeks, I will put, when we're replaying this, I will put a link to schedule a coaching call with me and find out about our 8-week program. Okay. So let's stop saying it's impossible. Let's start believing that we can have a different life, and go ahead and be a little scared. Scared is good because it prompts change. There's nothing wrong with being scared. Fear is good. It helps you move to another place. So hope you found this valuable. You guys participate. Tell me what you thought. Let's do this. Let's get engaged and reach out to me. I want to help you. I want to show you it's possible. So I will put a link here where you can schedule a call with me. I'm going to be posting a webinar that I've done that explains, it's like a free masterclass in kind of shifts you need to make to change your life and be in balance and find that work-life balance, harmony, integration, however you want to say it. And start to believe it's possible. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.